You have your volume turned down.
Tears are falling, hearts are breaking. How we need to hear from God. You've been promised, we've been waiting. Welcome, Holy Child. Welcome, Holy Child. Hope that you don't mind our nature. How I wish we would have known, but long awaited, holy stranger, make yourself at home. Please make yourself at home. Bring your peace into our violence. Bid our hungry souls be filled. Word now breaking heaven's silence. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world. Fragile fingers sent to heal us, tender brow prepared for thorns. Tiny heart whose blood will save us, unto us is born. Unto us is born. So wrap our injured flesh around you, breathe our air and walk our sod. Take our sin and make us holy, perfect Son of God, perfect Son of God. Welcome to our world.
Amen. Our scripture this morning is one we all know, but to stay together before our morning message this morning. The pearl is John 3:16. And I think it'd be a good, we just stayed all together and we all read it together, okay? For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. And may God bless the reading of his word this morning. For the morning message, the pearl.
Anybody open any gifts lately?
I still got some weight.
We still have paper littered here and there on our floor in our living room. We've almost got it all up, but there's still a little bit here and there. I saw a picture today of a cat romping through paper at her apartment. And that's usually what opening gifts involves, isn't it? A little paper. Did everybody get something you wanted for Christmas? I hope you got something that you really wanted for Christmas. And I know I did. I got really kind of surprised me. I got a little tiny box. Little tiny boxes can have really neat things in them. Mine had a little tiny projector. It's small enough it'll fit in my pocket. But it'll do a 50-inch projection if I do presentations. The year before I got a screen for my daughter, so I'm completely portable now. Let's go project anywhere. Got some other things that I really wanted to. So, but now we got some movies. We've been watching movies the last couple of nights. Night before last we saw Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is always a misnomer because there are always two of them. So it's not the man from U.N.C.L.E., it's the men from U.N.C.L.E. Last night we watched Ant-Man. He's still running around in Chris's ear somewhere. Get rid of him. tonight's gifts. This is a time of gifts, isn't it? Time of receiving, time of giving. Sometimes I think the giving is more fun than the receiving. Many, many years ago, when we were getting ready to go to training, we put all our stuff in a storage bin. And my wife had been collecting for years plates for when she would have a nice set of everyday plates, and she carefully packed them all in a box, and I didn't want them to break, so I carefully put this box way up on the top of the stack, because I was afraid if I put it down low and stack things on it, that they might break. And they were fine there until one of the boxes gave way down low, and that box full of dishes proceeded to roll completely down the stack. So the next time I opened the bin, there it was at the bottom of the stack, laying on the concrete floor. There was 8 place settings in there, and every single piece was broken. Every single piece was broken. And you can imagine for the last 25 years or so, on a fairly regular basis, my wife reminds me that I destroyed that set of dishes that she'd been saving,
And we're getting close to
that her
retirement.
parents had been buying for her when we get close to retirement, you know. She said those are going to be my everyday dishes when I retire. And she reminds me off and on, not all the time, but just, you know, every once in a while, she's, let me know. So for Christmas this year, I bought her a new 8-place set of the very same dish. That was really as much fun to give as it was to get.
You just wanted to stop hearing about it.
So he's out of the doghouse.
I'm out of the doghouse, at least for a little while, that's right. So when I think about gifts, and I think about getting the things, you know, that you really want in life, those of you who know me know that I'm reminded of a story. And I thought the week after Christmas might be another good time for a story sermon. You know, I don't do them every Sunday. Some people tell me I don't do them enough. Others might think I do them too much. I don't know. But it reminds me of a story that I wanted to share with you about little Susie. Little Susie was with her mom in Kmart one day. She didn't have enough money for Walmart, so they went to Kmart. And they were going to the checkout line. And everybody here has been to the checkout line at box stores. You know that they put all the stuff right there on the checkout line that the children will want. They don't put a lot of adult stuff there. They might put batteries there, but normally they have like candy.
Potato
Every
chip.
time I go to Walmart, potato chips, like rows of candy bars and potato chips. And sometimes they put some of those little kind of glitzy toy type things. And there they were, right in front of Susie. There was a little cardboard piece of paper with a string of pearls on it. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the plastic pearls with a kind of a metal string through them. They look real. They look pretty real. And they had the price there right on $5. And Susie said, Mommy, I want those pearls. And Mommy didn't really want to spend $5 on cheap pearls. I know that your mom's probably always got you everything that you wanted from the store. And I know that as moms, you probably always bought your children everything that they want. But this time, Mom said no. Susie says, Mommy, you don't know. I just, isn't there any way, Mommy, that I could have those pearls? And the mom said, well, Susie, you have a little bit of money at home in your piggy bank, and I can give you some extra chores that you could do around the house, maybe to make a little bit of money above your normal chores, and you may have some neighbors, and you know, your birthday's coming up, and your Aunt Lucy always sends you $1 on your birthday. It won't be long before you'll have it. Well, Susie agreed to that plan, a little worried that the pearls may not be there, but she agreed to it. And she got home that day and broke open the piggy bank, and there in the piggy bank was about $1.70. And Mom gave her some extra jobs. Gave her a nickel here, gave her a quarter, gave her some extra little chores around the house that she could do to earn some money. Miss Gertrude down the street let her pick dandelions out of the yard, and she gave her a nickel for every dandelion that she pulled out of her yard. And Miss Gertrude had a lot of dandelions. 20 dandelions later, she had another $1. And sure enough, when her birthday came, she had $4, and she got the birthday present as expected. Nice, crisp dollar bill in her pocket, and she went and did a couple more chores for Mom so she'd have the tax. She said, "Mom, can we go get the pearls now?" Mom said, "Are you sure that's what you want to spend your money on?" She said, "Yes, I want those pearls more than anything. More than anything." So Mom said, "Let's go to Kmart." And they got in the car and they went to Kmart, and they went through line, and the pearls were still there. And Susie got the pearls shaking, and she took it to the lady at the counter. You can kind of see it happening, can't you? And the lady rang it up, and it was $5, and I think it was 22 cents in that state. She counted out every one of the bills, and she counted out the 2 dimes and 2 pennies, gave it to the lady. The lady gave her the pearls. She just was so excited. She had her pearls. And I'm going to tell you, for the next months, she wore those pearls everywhere. She wore them to church. She wore them to anytime they went to visit somebody's house. She wore them just around the house. She wore them when she was pretending to play. She wore them when she was having a tea party. The only time that she wasn't really wearing the pearls was when she was taking a bath, because her mother was afraid it would make a green mark, on her neck. And she told her daughter that the bath would be good for the pearls. But other than that, she had those pearls on all the time, and she just loved those pearls. She loved them. I was very happy with this thing that she had earned, this thing that she had worked hard for, these pearls that she had purchased. They really made her day. Now, it was a custom every night for Susie's dad to put her to bed and tell her a story. And he'd tell her all kinds of stories when he put her to bed. And one night, after she had the pearls for about a month, he took her upstairs and he put her in bed and kissed her on the forehead. And he was there looking at her, and Susie was looking at him, and they said their prayers. And she said, "Daddy, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Dad?" And Dad said, "Susie, do you love me?" And Susie says, "Well, Daddy, of course you're my daddy. Of course I love you. Of course." And he said, "Well, would you give me your pearls?" Susie said, "You're kidding, aren't you, Dad?" She kind of laughed and smiled. She said, You're kidding, aren't you? My pearls?" She said, Dad, I'll tell you what. Here is a nice blanket. You know, I've loved this blanket from when I was little. I always cuddle with it. I hold it at night. It's nice. It's warm. I'll give you my blanket. It's one of the nicest, specialist things that I have. But Daddy, I can't give you my pearls. Not my pearls, Daddy. Daddy said, "That's okay, Susie. I don't want your blanket. Good night." Give her a big kiss on the forehead. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, as we used to say in our family. I guess that's because we never had bed bugs. And then Dad left the room. And Susie went to sleep. And nothing more was said. Dad didn't bother about it or pester about it, but of course Susie was thinking about the fact that her dad, who she loved, wanted her pearls. She couldn't figure out why. So anyway, nothing was said for 3 or 4 nights. She noticed that Dad would kind of look at her longingly before time for that last kiss and that last sleep tight little poem that they said. After about 4 or 5 nights, Dad said, "Susie." She said, "Yes, Daddy." He said, do you really love me?" She said, "Daddy, you know, Daddy, that I love you. You know better than anybody how much I love you." He said, "Well, then, would you give me your pearls?" And her hand was up to her neck right away, like he would take it, but Daddy wasn't trying to take it. She said, Daddy, you know with these pearls, they're special to me, Daddy. I can't give you." He said, look here is my doll, Doris. And Daddy, if you pull the string on her back, she'll talk to you. And I sleep with Doris every night, Daddy. You know that Doris is my very, very favoriteest doll. My favorite doll is Doris, Daddy. And here, I'll give you Doris. He says, "That's okay, Susie. I don't want Doris. You have a good night. Sleep tight. I love you. Take care." Give her a kiss on the head. My other bed. Well, you got to know that this was making Susie very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And she thought about it a lot. And 3 nights later, when Daddy came in the room to tell the story, there was Susie, and she had that kind of quiver. You know, little girls get, boys sometimes, on her lip. And Daddy said, "Susie, what is it? Are you okay?" And Susie reached behind her back and held out in her little hand those pearls. Her precious, precious pearls. And she gave them to Daddy. And Daddy said, "You're giving them to me, Susie?" And she said, "Yes, Daddy. If you want them, I'm giving them to you." Then Daddy reached in his pocket and pulled out a box. And he opened that box. And in that box was a brand new, beautiful set of real cultured pearls, individually matched on the necklace. They were gorgeous. And he said, "Susie, I love you, and I would like for you to have these." Now, why am I telling you that story? I'm telling you that story because God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. The greatest gift. Sometimes you and I hang on to silly stuff, plastic stuff that stains our neck when we take a bath with it. God has the real thing. And he wants to give it to us. In fact, he has given it to us. And he will continue to give it to us. I told the people this last week when we were going through with the Christmas stuff, I told them that God God's grace is like a 4-year-old making a peanut butter sandwich, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It gets everywhere. God's grace gets everywhere. God, I want you to have His grace, and it's better than anything somebody else has given you. It's better than anything you've worked for. It's better than anything you've saved for. So, on this Sunday after Christmas, when you're thinking about gifts, remember that God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son. And all we have to do is believe that what He wants is best for us, is best for you and me. The altar's open. If you want to thank God for the grace that He's given you, for your Christmas, for your family, the altar's open. I'm going to play a song now. Please feel free to spend some time in prayer. And if you haven't, if there's something that you're holding on to in your life, something that God has asked you to give, and you're refusing to give, this might be the Sunday you give it. Because He has something much, much better